Hello and welcome to another Vinny Talk Sayings. I'm your host Vincent LaRose, and today it is now October 13th. It is 12:30 in the morning. I just came back from the Ranger game. Saw Aaron Judge. Judge showed up to the Ranger game today. They lost 1-0 to Capitals. But this is Vinny Talk Sayings. We're talking about the Yankees. So today we are going to get into the New York Yankees offseason plans. So obviously there's no free agents yet or anything like that. The ALCS started today. Seattle takes game 1 against the Blue Jays. So yeah, it was a fun game to watch. I didn't watch a lot of it because I was at the Ranger game, but it is what it is. But like I said, we're gonna get into the Yankees offseason plans. So before anything, I'm going to say this. Cashman and Bloom are going nowhere, so people asking for that, they're not going anywhere, no matter how much you want them. And look, truthfully, Boone's not the problem. It's the guys up top. It's being called out by multiple players around baseball that don't even play for the Yankees anymore, that have been in the Yankees organization. A-Rod called them out. We know what's going on. Boone's not going anywhere. He's just a pawn. But like I said, let's get into the offseason plan. So just a basic to start. The Yankees' number one goal is probably re-sign Cody Bellinger and then fix their bullpen, retool their bullpen. I think their bullpen likely is going to be mostly free agents because there is a decent amount of free agents out right now. We know the Yankees, they'll trade for a couple guys here and there. Because, they know what they're doing pitching-wise. Although the bullpen did kind of crumble, but like Fernando Cruz is a great example of that. He had a almost 5 ERA with the Reds, and they turned him into one of the most. He had the highest swing and miss rate in baseball with his splitter, and I think the highest strikeout rate as well. But he did get hurt for a little bit. But those are my two main concerns. Maybe bolster up the bench a little bit more, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. So this is what I have for Yankees free agents. So, of course, the big one, Cody Bellinger. He's already told his reporter or his agent, the reports are out at least, that he is going to opt out. He would have got a $25 million one-year deal, but he's going to opt out of that. So $26.67 million comes off the books. Then, of course, Devin Williams is going to be a free agent. He's making $8.6 million, so that's going to come off the books. Trent Grisham is going to be a free agent. He's making $5 million, so that's going to come off the books. Tim Hill, he's making $2.85 million currently, and he has a team option for next year for $3 million. I think the Yankees pick up that team option. It would make no sense why they wouldn't. Tim Hill's great. He's been great for us the past 2 years. He's been with us, so I don't see that being not picked up. It would surprise me, truthfully. Paul Goldschmidt is going to be a free agent. He's making $12.5 million, so that's coming off the books. Paul Blackburn, we traded for him. He's making $6 million, or we didn't trade for him. We signed him off waivers from the Mets. But he's making $6 million. That's going to come off. Jonathan Loáisiga, he has a $5 million club option, and I'm kind of back and forth with Jonathan Loáisiga. I think they said he'd be good to start the season or early in the season. But even when he was healthy this year, he was kind of bad. So I don't know if they pick him up for $5 million. But in my plans, I kind of have him picked up. So we're just going to we're going to say the Yankees do pick him up. Luke Weaver. He will be a free agent. I don't think he's coming back. He's gonna be that's $2 million coming off the book. Ahmed Rosario. I would love for Rosario to come back. It'd be a great thing for us. But I think he wants a starting role, so I'm not really sure if he comes back. But he's another $2 million. Ryan Yarbrough, who we didn't get to see a lot of at the end of the season, he's another $2 million. And Austin Slater is making $1.75 million. So all that money's coming off the books. So for 2026, as of right now. With Cody Bellinger and Jonathan Loáisiga and Hill included, they are at a projected $225 million payroll. That includes the rest of LeMahieu's contract. I think some of Aaron Hicks's contract as well. And then, of course, everything else. Without those two, like I said, I'm not really sure if they're going to pick up Jonathan Loáisiga, but we're going to keep him in it. And then we're going to assume Cody Bellinger is going to opt out because he already kind of said he did. So we're at about $200 million going into 2026, give or take. Maybe a little higher, maybe a little lower. Arbitration, obviously, it depends on arbitration. Truthfully, we have, I think, Jazz is going arbitration, Schmidt is on arbitration, Bednar's on arbitration, Duvall's on arbitration. Wells is on no, Wells is not on arbitration yet. But we have a decent amount of guys going on arbitration, so the money could fluctuate. Jazz is projected to get a lot of money, but he actually took less money last year, so I wonder if that happens again this year. But we will see. But like I said, we're sitting around $200 million for the 2026 season, so maybe we're sitting at $100 million to spend. Probably need to spend a little bit more than that for this team to win the World Series, but the Yankees tend to stay under that $300 million. I think it's like 302. So, but I'm just gonna say 300 to make it easier. I think it actually technically goes up every year, so it might be like 305 now. But I'm not really sure. But I kind of made a plan that I think is somewhat realistic for the Yankees. Something that seems like they would do. Free agent wise, I haven't really looked into the trade stuff yet. There's obviously every year we trade for guys, so 100% is going to happen, but I'm just sitting purely looking at free agent stuff because I don't want to mess with the money stuff, because obviously trading somebody means you're getting off their money and adding somebody else's money in, depending who you're trading for, blah blah blah, this and that. Anyways, and during the offseason crazy things happen. Some guys asked to be traded, so we don't really know any of that yet, so I'm not going to do a full trade video. This is really yet. I will do one at some point, but this is really just money wise with just guys we should get, at least guys in their position we should get with their sorts of talents. But my first thing I put is re-signing Cody Bellinger. He's projected to get about $30 million a year. Contract-wise, I believe Cody's 31 now. He's gonna want at least 5 to 6 years, and just my opinion. So I always said 5 to 6 years, 30 million average. So maybe 150, maybe 180 million, somewhere around there is where I see that sitting. So that gives the Yankees about $70 million of that first 100 to work with at that point. I personally believe they re-signed Devin Williams. I kind of don't see why you don't. I know he didn't have the greatest season, but you can get him a little bit cheaper because of that. And he did finish the season off strong. Devin Williams is not a guy I just give up on. His stuff is way too good. So I don't see them doing that. He's projected to make about $16 million a year, they said. So I gave him the $16 million. I did 3 years, $48 million, which would be $16 million a year. My assumption is there's going to be team options in that just because of his performance this year. Maybe a club, maybe a mutual option. Maybe player option. I don't really think so. But I'm not going to involve any of that stuff here. I'm just going to do pure numbers. But after him, that leaves about $56 million. And then I said Ryan Helsley, or if Robert Suarez opts out of his contract with San Diego, we should go for one of those two. We kind of have to. We need one of those two desperately. We need another guy that's going to be in the 8th inning. I know Duvall can be that guy, or maybe Williams can be that guy, but if we can build like a not even old school, but like a couple years ago back when we Yankees had like a Super Bowl when they had Betances, Chapman, Canely, Robertson, guys like that, just a bunch of guys who could close. I think we need to build another one of those after what happened last year. So I had either Ryan Iglesias or Robert Suarez, not Rafael Iglesias, Ryan Helsley or Robert Suarez. I had him on the same contract, 2 years, $38 million, $19 million. Robert Suarez will definitely get more than that. So I think if they get Robert Suarez, they don't get anybody else free agent wise. But I just put this like Ryan Helsley. I put at $38 million. 2 years, $38 million. Maybe 1 year, $19 million with some sort of opt-in, opt-out, because he didn't have the greatest year this year, but he was still very good and still definitely a guy I think Matt Blake would work well with. And then I added, that's why I said Iglesias before, and then I added Rafael Iglesias. He's getting older now, so obviously he's probably going to look for he's going to look for as much as possible, but I don't think teams are going to offer him more than 1 year. I have him at 1 year, $10 million. Something like that. Not a guy with incredible stuff, he has good stuff, but not as good as he once was. But I definitely think it's another guy the Yankees could work with and make him very good. So I have him at like 1 year 10, 9 or 10 million. That's where about that they have. And truthfully, that's really all I got for free agents, like on my realistic scale. I don't think the Yankees go crazy this offseason just because of what they did last year during the trade deadline, trading for guys with so many years of service. And I do believe if we had McMahon, Bednar, Duvall, I know Duvall wasn't great, but like guys like that at the start of the season, we would have won at least a couple more games and won the division. And I think the Yankees are also thinking that. I think the retooling of the bullpen is really the most important part, and those are the guys free agents wise I think they're going to get. They're definitely going to trade for some guys, so I haven't really added that in. So technically with my predictions, probably not. I'm probably nowhere near what the actual money is, but that leaves them about 27 million to fill the roster up. Get some more bullpen help through trades, maybe, because they need a right-handed catcher as well. Get a right-handed catcher, but there's so many out there right now, and Real Muto is not realistic. But maybe, Jacob Stahl, somebody who could just, when we're playing lefties, throw him in, because I don't want to see lefty every single game. It's aggravating. So I left the 27 million for that to just, spread out a little bit, maybe give somebody else a little bit more money than I said. Whatever it is, maybe Cody Bellinger wants a little bit more, and I also account for the arbitration stuff, because arbitration might be a little bit more than what they're projecting, so it's quite possible that would have to go into that as well. So I truly think the Yankees aren't going to go over that $300 million threshold. They've done it for 3 straight seasons now. Every single year they're going all in, and then by like middle offseason they're like, well, we don't want to go over the 300, so we're not going to get anybody else. So I'm going to assume they're going to stay consistent with that. So, with that being said, I have also made a completely unrealistic list of guys I would want. And I only say unrealistic because it's very, very, very unlikely we sign all of these guys. Oh, that's the TV, I'm sorry. That was weird. Anyways, it's very unlikely we sign all of these guys. But this would be like the absolute dream for Yankees fans. We probably have nowhere near enough money to get all these guys either. This is just what I'm like putting on paper. No doubt in my mind we'd easily win the World Series if we got everybody. So first I have re-signing Cody Bellinger. Then I have signing Kyle Tucker for probably a massive deal. I didn't even put numbers in this because I knew if I put numbers in this, we're probably going to be in like Dodgers territory with payroll, and the Yankees aren't going to do that. So so I have re-signed Cody Bellinger. He plays center field. Then you sign Pete Alonso as well to play first base. Then you can move Rice. Maybe if there's a tough righty, he plays first. Stanton's gonna get hurt at some point, so he could throw him in DH. You can also throw him in as your third catcher. Then I have signing Robert Suarez, hopefully if he were to opt out. Re-signing Devin Williams. Signing Bo Bichette because we need a real shortstop and it's time to get over Volpe. I know Bichette's defense is atrocious, but he's really good at putting bat on ball, and the Yankees really need this. Signing JT Realmuto, getting us that right-handed catching bat, the best one option possible. Trading for Paul Skeens. Now, this is likely the most unrealistic trade, but I was fully on board with, hey, trade all of your guys, trade Dominguez, trade Jones, trade Lombard Jr. You're going to sign guys to, recoup that in this dream scenario. And, maybe give them Volpe as well. Maybe they want to work with Volpe or something like that. Just give them all of our top prospects, essentially. Paul Skeens is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of pitcher, and I would more than willingly give up all those guys for Paul Skeens. If you say you wouldn't, you're stupid, because we have probably one of the best rotations to ever step foot on a mound. It'd be ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, we technically have our own Paul Skeens with Cam Schlittler. No, I'm just kidding. But so that, sign Helsley, like I said before. Sign Iglesias. Get some sort of bullpen help. Some sort of lefty bullpen help. Maybe get Holby Miller, or Milner, I think his name is. Maybe you re-sign Ryan Yarbrough and throw him out there. Taylor Rogers, I think. you can throw in there as well. Some sort of that. And then of course trades and bench help on bench. I would just like to re-sign Rosario, and then maybe you keep one like a Dominguez, Jones, or Dominguez or Jones maybe. I doubt if you trade for skins you get to keep either, but maybe give one of them a shot. So with that being said, the so-called dream starting lineup at the beginning of 2026 is, don't take the order of the batting order too literal. I just threw this together real quick. But leading off would be Bichette, and then you'd have Tucker second, or Bichette at short, Tucker hitting second, playing left field, Aaron Judge hitting third, playing right field, Pete Alonso hitting fourth, playing first, Bellinger hitting fifth, playing center field, Stanton hitting sixth, DHing, Jazz hitting seventh, playing second, either Realmuto or Wells, whoever is catching that night, hitting eighth, and then McMahon ninth, third base. I think no matter what, they keep McMahon regardless of this dream scenario, because his third base defense is so good, and especially if you sign Bichette, you're going to need somebody locked down over there. And then obviously your starting rotation would be absolutely disgusting. You'd have Paul Skeens as your ace, Garrett Cole as your 2 when he comes back, Fried as your 3, Rodon as your 4, and Cam Schlittler as your 5, and then you probably have Luis Hill in there for when Cole is out, and then injuries happen, we know that, so he would probably stay somewhat in rotation, and then technically Schmidt would come back at the end of the year, but who cares? Because if we were able to sign these guys, that would be ridiculous. We're not going to get all of them, and I don't think we signed Tucker. Truthfully, I definitely don't think we signed Alonso. I wouldn't say Realmuto is completely out of the question. I see it being very unlikely, as he's made it obvious that he wants to stay with the Phillies. They just weren't able to agree on a contract extension. But all of this would be so much money, and Pete Alonso's getting a lot, even if it's not a long-term contract, a lot of money a year. So is Kyle Tucker. Maybe Bichette isn't too ridiculous, but just everybody mixed together, it's going to be a lot of money. And I don't see the Yankees doing it. It'd be really cool if they did it, because we'd have an absolute super team, and that'd be pretty sick. Excuse me, sorry. Well, but that is somewhat of my dream scenario. Like I said, I don't really think it's going to happen. I don't see the Yankees changing a whole bunch. I see them, getting off of Trent Grisham and giving Jones and Dominguez more of an opportunity. Jones has to come up at some point if you're not going to trade him. So I see them giving Jones an opportunity, maybe play left field. Jones is a much better defender than Jason Dominguez. The only issue you're getting into there is he does have a very high strikeout rate, and he's another lefty. And we saw how much it hurt us, how lefty heavy we were in the playoffs. So we will see. Lombard Jr. is still a long ways away. I know people are pretty much done with Volpe. I'm also pretty much done with Volpe. He hit that homer off Crochet, and I was like, all right, maybe the postseason stuff will really help him. And then just finished probably the worst in postseason history, the worst you'll ever see. I don't know why he was even in the lineup anymore at that point. I guess for his defense, because he was playing good defense, but wow. That showing in the playoffs was just gross, throw up in your mouth, disgusting. So I do really, really think the Yankees need to reconsider the shortstop position, because Aaron Judge is going to be 34 next year. I would say if we're lucky, we get another 3 years of what Aaron Judge is doing. More than likely, it's probably going to be another 2. Hoping he doesn't get hurt, because his body's getting older. And the stereotype, but the saying, or whatever you want to call it, what's going around is Aaron Judge is probably going to be one of the best players. Well, he's going to be the best Yankee to ever live to not win a ring, but he's going to go down as one of the best MLB players in history to not win a ring if we can't get him one. So they got to get to work, bro, because this guy, I know $360 million is a lot of money, but he wanted to defer a lot of his money, but the MLB wouldn't let the Yankees. So he always wanted to help his team, and he had 2 offers for a decent $100 million more, or close to $100 million more. So he did come to the Yankees. He wants to win a championship. You can see it. He performed well in the postseason last year, so what are you going to say about his stupid postseason stuff now? We got to get this guy a ring. So at some, and I think signing guys like Tucker and Bichette is a little bit better than just waiting for these guys to come up, because I have trust in Jones enough to be an average power hitter in baseball with good defense. I don't think he's going to be phenomenal, truthfully. I know he's he's our number 2 prospect at this point, but his strikeout percentage is really like highly alarming in AA and AAA. I know, I'm sorry, I'm gonna mispronounce his name. Murakami something. He's from Japan. He plays third base and first base. His strikeout percentage is also ridiculously high, so I don't even want the Yankees to talk to this guy, truthfully, even talk about giving him $300 million, like some teams want to do, like the Dodgers or the Padres. We need to get away from strikeout guys. I think Luis Arraez is a free agent, so that might be like a little like nobody else wanted him, sneaky little throw in there, possibly for a bench role or something like that. But I know he finished last year off really, really bad, so I don't know. But just the Yankees need to get away from just home run or bust. I know a lot of the guys I said there in that lineup are kind of like that, like Pete Alonso, but Kyle Tucker hits for average. Bichette hits for average. So at least you're getting 2 more guys in there that's not home run or bust. I know Dominguez wasn't really home run or bust, but he did strike out a decent amount, and he didn't really hit for high power or really hit, a lot in general. His scenario was weird this year. They told him he got a full-time position, and then, I get it. Trent Grisham, blows up obviously and has a phenomenal season, but a little weird. So hopefully he gets some more reps next year and we can see his true potential at this point, because the joke is about this guy, he's been a rookie for 7 years. I know he's not going to be a rookie next year, but it feels like it at this point, just how the Yankees have treated him and how he's gotten playing time. But anyways, that is where I'm going to end it today. So if you guys think of anybody else, maybe if you think of some trades, think of some different guys, think if I'm completely wrong, which I probably am. It's really hard to estimate any of this stuff. Nobody thought Juan Soto was going to get $800 million. Not a single person. Nobody thought Shohei Ohtani was going to get $700 million. So it's kind of obvious teams are going to just throw money at certain guys. I'm not saying Shohei Ohtani and Juan Soto are bums. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Tucker got over $300 million. Do I think he deserves it? Not really. I don't think really anybody deserves that, truthfully, besides Shohei and Judge. Maybe Soto, yeah, too. But I don't know. I really don't know, to be completely honest. This is my best guess. But anyways, that's where I'm going to end it today. I am extremely tired. I was in the city all day today. It was cool to see Aaron Judge and Rizzo at the Ranger game, though. See they're still friends and hanging out. But anyways, that is where I'm going to end it today. So I appreciate everybody watching on the YouTube side, listening on the podcast side. Remember, I do shorts videos, so follow me on all. I do daily shorts videos, so follow me on all socials: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all Vinny Talks Yanks. Instagram's Vinny.TalksYanks, and that's all I got. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, morning, night, afternoon, whatever time it is, whatever part of the day it is that you're listening to this. And as always, go Yankees.